Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. For the longest time, clamps have been a problem for me. The main thing is I didn't have enough of them, and then when I started getting more clamps, I realized I'm lugging them, one or two, three at a time, and I need like 10 clamps. So I saw a video of someone making a clamp cart, and I thought that'd be a good project for me. So this is the clamp cart we made. The main feature is the pipe clamps, because I made enough room to add a lot more pipe clamps, and I don't really use these big giant Bessie clamps down here. So I mean, I can, but I don't use them as much as the pipe clamps. I like the pipe clamps better. Yeah, now we can keep our glue on here, our tape, all of our clamps. So when we get ready to do something, we just wheel this thing over. I keep my clamping cauls in the back, and I have plenty of room for expansion. Anyway, let me show you how I made it. The first thing I do is draw out the two sides on one sheet of 3/4 inch birch plywood, and I get that ripped down, and I don't even bother using my track saw because I've got a Craig track saw, but it's not that great. I can freehand a lot nicer. Anyway, I break all this down and take it down into my shop, and then these turkeys went by right while I was walking down there. A whole bunch of them, but I caught a few of them on film. Then I grab my apron, get busy, and get to work. I grab the first thing I got to do is start drilling pocket holes. There's a lot of pocket holes. This is it's just like a giant cabinet with a bunch of shelves and stuff in it. So I got to start cutting down material. The width of the inside of the cabinet is 23 inches. So the base is 24 by 23. And what I want to do is I basically want to put the whole thing together with pocket screws. And pocket screws and stainless steel nails and glue. That's my goal. So right off the bat, I start getting all the pocket screws screwed, and here's a couple experimental crazy angles. But pocket screws, you just have to get on it and get them done. So I just motor through all these pocket screws. There was probably 100 of them. It's funny, this is the cheapest pocket hole jig you could buy. I then rip down some side pieces that I need for the bottom and figure out the dimensions of those. So on the bottom of this clamp cart, I'm going to store my glue, my tape, miscellaneous items, stuff like that. So I need to make sides for down below, and that's what these are. They're about 8 inches high, I think, and it's perfect for gallons of glue and tape and all that stuff down below. I then put a shelf up top. That's the one you can see right there, and I'm hoping to clamp clamps to it. That's my idea anyway. And so here I start gluing the whole carcass together, and it's a little awkward, one person, but pocket screws make things pretty easy. I then just start gluing and screwing this whole thing together, and I think the glue is probably really important with a shell like this, just to keep the structure really solid. The bottom has two sides to it, and these are the two sides. And also I have it in my head that I'm going to not only store glue down here, but I'm going to make a secondary pocket on the back that's going to be for my cauls. So I'll have all this storage in the front, but I'll also have storage in the back. I continue to rip all these pieces. Right now I'm ripping the pieces for the pipe clamps, and this is actually the feature of the whole rack, because I've decided that the pipe clamps I like the pipe clamps the best out of all the clamps. I bought some expensive Bessie clamps, and I have some other clamps, but my favorite clamps, my go-to clamps, are these 3/4 inch pipe clamps. And I'll leave a description or a Amazon link in the description if you're interested. In any of the products that I feature on any of my videos, I'll try to leave a description, like an Amazon link in the description. Anyway, I router these are for the pipe clamps, and I router them out, and then I realize, I got to put a bunch of pocket screws in these, so I just start going at it. Probably 20 pocket screws per board. But that's what gives it the strength, the glue and the pocket screws. And that's the top piece. See, I'm going to angle this top piece, and I don't know what angle that is, maybe 25 or 30 degrees. But basically it's so that when I slide the pipe clamps in there, they don't have a chance to fall out. So they're all leaning back. And so they just slide right back, and that makes it real nice. And here I'm putting the bottom on at the same angle. I basically designed the whole clamp cart around the pipe clamps. Even though I'm putting, a bunch of oddball clamps in there, in the end, it will have a lot of pipe clamps in it. And that's basically, there's the design right there. The pipe clamps are just going to slide in there. The next morning I wake up and it snowed. So that was what you saw just there. I grab my apron and unload this whole cart and get ready to finish it. Today's the day we finish it. And the first thing I need to do is I want to put these cawls on the back of the cart, out of the way but easy to access. So I make a slot in the back and I glue and nail that slot in there. And basically these cawls are 3 feet long. They're pretty heavy, 1/8 inch steel. But I want to be able to access them really easy because I use them every time I clamp anything down. So I make a strip for the bottom, for the inside of the box to hold the cawls. You can see that strip right there. So, and now I glue and nail one up high, but I realize I need to be able to pull these cawls out. So the second one up, I angle it so that when you pull the cawl up, you can angle it and pull it right out. And I thought that was pretty ingenious, especially for Outlaw. Anyway, so this piece right here, I angle it and put a little glue on it, some pocket screws, and she's in. So now you can pull the cawl up and then angle it out and pull it out. So right here, I'm repurposing some wheels. I've got a bunch of these that were used when I used to do off-roading, and we used to wheel cars around, and I had a bunch of them left over. So I'm repurposing these wheels, and I'm going to cut 4 blocks, 4x4 blocks. And because these wheels only have a center post with a nut on them, I'm going to recess them into these blocks and then screw them onto the bottom of the cart. So I mark the centers, take a Forstner bit and recess some holes into these blocks. Right here I'm trying out my Irwin cheap pipe clamps, or yeah, right there, those blue pipe clamps. And actually I was pretty happy with them. I got 4 of those, I don't know, for 19 bucks I think. And I'm very happy with them. They're small, they're quick, so that was a good addition to the inexpensive clamping system. Yeah, they held pretty good. I was happy with those for the price. I've got a couple that I'm going to take back to Harbor Freight. We'll see if they give me something different, because I bought these big red ones from Harbor Freight, and they're horrible. They don't hold, which is amazing. I mean, you yeah, they're just bad, made by Pittsburgh. But I'm hoping that they'll actually give me something different, exchange or something. I'm gonna go there next week. So right here, I recessed these. I basically just put these four casters on. These are heavy duty casters. I don't really, they have steel wheels, which is really nice, but I have this brand new epoxy floor, so I decided that I'm gonna wrap all these wheels in some black Gorilla tape just to make it run softer on my epoxy floor. I know that seems kind of weird, but I did spend a lot of time making this epoxy floor, so I try to take care of everything. I mean, I've spilled glue on it and epoxy on it and all kinds of stuff on it, but I still make an effort to take care of it. So right here, I just finish up mounting all these, and yeah, these casters are perfect size for this cart. I mean, it can really move around. So now, basically, it's time to load this thing up. It's done, and I fill it with what I have. I don't have a lot of stuff, but I fill it up with what I got. And the nice thing is, it's got room for expansion. My idea was to put all these clamps up top, but later on I did find a better spot, which was right behind the pipe clamps in the back. And that way, because if I put them up there, those are those two red ones that I'm going to take back. But if I put them up here, the bars stick up almost to the ceiling, like they're like an inch or two away from the ceiling, and then they don't roll through a door. And I want to be able to roll this whole thing into the other room and just pull it out when I need it. There's the little tape holder that I made right in the back of the cabinet. I basically just put a board across there that was just, and then the tape could sit back there and not roll around. Thanks for watching Outlaw Woodworking. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell, liking the video. And yeah, this has been a great addition to the Outlaw workshop, and I look forward to just move. The nice thing is I can just move this anywhere out of the way, which I'm gonna have to find a good spot for it. I haven't really figured that out yet. I did realize that if I stock these clamps going up to the ceiling, this thing won't go through a door. So I might have to rethink these higher ones, but as long as it's in the main shop, then it has no problem like that. I like it because these are easy to get to right here, and I can also get to my pipe clamps really easy. And then I keep all the glue in there now. It's a lot nicer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.